Right, so a couple of days ago, I uploaded a video talking about a situation involving a massive drink company called Poppi and how they've got themselves into a bit of bother recently. And I'll do a quick recap in just a second, but the reason why I'm uploading this second video is, if you remember in my last video, if you've seen it, I was saying I was curious to see what Poppi's response would be to all of this, and it turns out they've now responded. But in case you haven't seen my last video or you need a bit of a refresher, here's a quick recap, right? So the main company you need to be aware of in this situation is Poppi, right? This is their TikTok account. It's Drink Poppi with 646,000 followers. And from what I can tell, Poppi is supposed to be like a healthy soda alternative. In the last video, we took a look at what some of the public's perception of Poppi might have been over the past couple of years. Of course, this isn't everyone, right? But we specifically took a look at a video that was saying that Poppi a couple of years ago seemed like a very relatable brand to a lot of people. You know, they're doing a lot of giveaways. There was a video that went viral a couple of years ago where someone had met the CEO of Poppi, didn't know that this person was like an influencer who would make a video about this interaction, but the CEO still gave them like a package that I think included some like merch and some product. And maybe throughout the past couple of years, in some people's opinions, it seems like that relatability might have faded away a little bit, you know, of them doing a lot of collaborations with mainstream celebrities and bigger influencers as the brands got bigger. But clearly, regardless of that, right, this company is a very successful company. They just had a Super Bowl ad literally a few days ago. And in fact, the controversy we were speaking about in the last video was surrounding the Super Bowl and their marketing strategy coming up to the Super Bowl. Now, here's an example of that marketing strategy. This on a TikTok account called Kaylee May, who uploaded a video as she was sent a vending machine by Poppi. We'll take a look through. The music is going to be copyrighted, so I'm just going to talk over it. But these Poppi vending machines were being sent out to a bunch of influencers with a bunch of drinks, and they basically said, you can have these for the weekend while the Super Bowl's on, and we're going to stock it full of Poppi drinks. And I think it's fair to say a lot of people weren't too impressed with this marketing strategy, and a lot of people were leaving comments and also making videos giving their thoughts on this marketing strategy. For example, there was this video that we showed from a TikToker called Jade Jarvis who gave her thoughts on what we were seeing here with the vending machines.
Can I just be a hater real quick? Seeing these influencers get these Poppi vending machines just makes me never want to buy a Poppi ever again. And I know that this is not new. We have like, of course, the Tarte trips and the other influencer trips and like PR hauls and all that kind of things, all of those kinds of things that influencers get. But at what point is just like enough? And at what point does it just seem like the rich giving to the rich?
Yeah, I mean, as you heard Jade just say there, she actually compared it to the Tarte trips. We spoke about that a little bit in the last video. These Tarte trips where a brand has paid like a bunch of pretty rich influencers, I think that's fair to say, to go on these extravagant holidays as a way to promote their brand. And I think in a lot of people's opinions, after seeing this kind of playing out over the past couple of years, is that doesn't make people want to actually try the brand, right? Because it's just rich influencers getting expensive things for free. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just that, right? The Tarte trips especially, there has been a lot of drama involved with them trips. Every single time it happens, it seems, for many different reasons. And even in regards to this whole like Poppi situation, there's a lot of many different reasons that we spoke about in the last video why people weren't too overly impressed with what they were doing here. Now, one company who seemed to love this controversy was actually Olipop, which is kind of like a Poppi competitor. They do similar things with these healthy sodas. Because it seemed like anyone who was making a video talking about the situation and maybe talking negatively about Poppi, Olipop were right there in the comment section loving it. I mean, there's this video for Saron where she goes on to talk about the comments a lot, but she flashed a few of them on screen right here, right? And Olipop are commenting saying stuff like, someone had to say it, 32 machines times 25k per machine, yikes. Also, for the record, those machines cost 25k each, lol. So yeah, they were clearly loving this, and to be fair, it was working for them, right? Because a lot of comments on Poppi social media and Ollie's Pop social media was just people saying, I'm no longer going to be using Poppi, I'm going to use Olipop instead. Now, the way my previous video ended was with me kind of wondering what the response was going to be, right? Because obviously, there's been a lot of negative backlash, but at the same time, it's a very viral situation. A lot of people are talking about it, so brands seem to see that in two different ways, right? Some brands will hate that they're getting this negative reaction, and some brands will just love the fact that it's a situation going viral and people are talking about their brand. Now, obviously at that time, we didn't have a response from Poppi directly. This time we actually do, because Poppi has actually uploaded a video on their social media talking about it.
Okay, guys, I just got back and I've been hearing a lot of negativity, and so I wanted to get on here and chat with you guys directly. I've always been on here sharing my authentic thoughts with you. And it would be very unlike me and Poppi to not just talk about this head on with all of you and all the social conversations going on. So first of all, I want to say I hear you. And there's a lot of misinformation being spread out there by one of our competitors.
Okay, well, I don't think there'll be any prizes going out to anyone who can guess who she's talking about here, right? I would assume, I'm pretty confident, that she's talking about Olipop. And straight away, she is saying that there's a lot of misinformation out there, and specifically addressing Olipop. And in fact, she actually goes into a bit more detail here, and it seems like the misinformation she's talking about is the whole 25k for a vending machine times however many people it was sent to. You know, you saw the comments.
To the price tag of 25k, which is not what it costs, and that is not true. This vending machine campaign, it was put in place to bring awareness to the biggest soda moment of the year, the Super Bowl.
Okay, so quickly on the whole 25k thing, I don't know if that is overly important, if the 25k is the exact amount that the vending machines are worth. I can't lie, I don't really know how much vending machines are worth. I've never really been in the market to buy a vending machine. I know that might surprise some people. Now, some people have made videos going into a lot more details of what they think the price of these vending machines might be, and we'll get to that in just a second. But either way, it might not be 25k. I don't know how important that specific number is. I would assume it's around there. They seem like pretty high-tech vending machines, but again, my vending machine knowledge isn't too great, and if you Google it, the ranges are very large.
We wanted to share Poppi with creators across the US who are hosting Super Bowl parties for their friends and their family. Creator marketing has always been a staple of Poppi's brand since we launched in 2020. But I know that it's you, our community, that has been the biggest part of our success. As a female founder, I have always been so obsessed, and it's been a big passion of mine to get Poppi to as many people as possible.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just seems like they really kind of misjudged how this marketing strategy was going to be perceived, because even with these vending machines, right, if they really wanted to do something surrounding these vending machines, as a lot of people have said at this point, if you put them around in different places, and maybe there was like one specific can in each vending machine that had like a prize in it, maybe like a cash prize, or some type of prize, right? You would get so much free promo for that from people making videos, going to these Poppi vending machines, seeing if they can get like a can that has a prize in it or whatnot. It just seems like it would be such a natural way to promote the brand, and it would also involve the community, the people who are actually buying the product. But I think clearly what we've seen over the past couple of years is people are getting a bit more fed up of these like massive influencers getting these really extravagant PR packages from brands, and people don't really see that anymore and think, oh, I want to try that brand. Now, as this video carries on, we do hear some more of the future plans, and apparently these were plans that were always going to happen with getting the community involved and what they plan to do with these vending machines in the future. Obviously, that's up to you if you believe that, or maybe they've seen the public reaction and they're thinking, okay, right, we should do this from now on. Who knows, but this is the explanation.
After this weekend, as we've always done in the past and was always been part of the plan for all of our campaigns and all of our activations, it was always our intention to share these with you through marketing events, community pop-ups, and giveaways. But one of the things that has made Poppi so successful is that we listen to you and our community. We can always learn and do better. These vending machines will be a part of the brand for years to come, and we want to work with you guys to get them out to the places you'd like to see them out in the world, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there is a lot of people who don't believe this kind of like side of the story and maybe think that the brand is just doing this because of the public backlash. To me, if you are going to be spending apparently 25k on these vending machines and it's like 20 odd of them or 30 odd of them, and that's very expensive. So I really wouldn't be surprised if they had future plans of these vending machines. Who knows what them future plans were, but I would imagine they were going to be using them further because, again, it's really expensive. But either way, the video does end by kind of asking the community, like, where do you feel like these vending machines should go and what they should do with them?
We hear you. So, like, help us nominate your friends, your family, your favorite teacher's lounge, your sorority, your fraternity, whatever it is, wherever you guys want Poppi to show up, and let's get Poppi to the masses, because at the end of the day, we are a brand just trying to revolutionize soda for the next generation and bring joy to you guys through Poppi. So I appreciate you, and we hear you.
Okay, so that's a response video. Now, looking at the comments and seeing what people's thoughts are on this response video, it seems like people still aren't really impressed. I mean, if we just take a look at the top comments here, there's comments like, "Go Olipop, has and always will be my fave." Another comment here saying, "Olipop will have all my business, thanks." There's also a comment here that Poppi has responded to that says, "Tell us how much it costs then if you're truly being authentic," to which Poppi replied saying the number reference was inflated by over 60%. And then a bunch more comments like, "But a number of the creators who got them were at the Super Bowl, so they didn't host the party." Another one here saying, "Where are you reading from?" Another comment saying the blank stare while reading the script. I mean, look, it's clear that a lot of people aren't too impressed with this response. And in fact, people started making parodies of this response video. There's this video in particular from Heather Harmon that has over 600,000 views, parodying it.
Hey guys, I'm just getting back and wanted to just come to you guys directly and have a conversation with all the negativity that I've seen online. And the first thing that I want to say is just that I hear you. Okay, I hear you, unfortunately, I do. And so I just wanted to come and read from this script and just clear the air on some things. First of all, one of our competitors who also has a prebiotic soda that's much better than ours is in every single comment section ruining my life. And they're spreading a lot of misinformation from our plans to a $25K price tag. And that's just not true. These machines did not cost $25,000. They cost $20,000.
Okay, so you get the point, right? It's a parody. Clearly, a lot of people seem to believe that the response wasn't exactly authentic. There was a bunch more videos talking about the response, like this video from Andrea here, who goes on to say that this was just an awful response video.
All the social conversations going on.
All right, we need to walk through and break down this video because this was hands down one of the worst controversy response videos I've ever seen from a brand.
And then she goes on to give her thoughts on the response video itself. Now, one bit that I referenced earlier is that people have been talking about the Olipop reference that Poppi made, right? Saying that there was a lot of misinformation and whatnot, and Andrea goes on to give her thoughts on this.
All right, so that's obviously her referring to how Olipop, their competitor, has been going around in the comment section and exposing how much everything they're doing has cost. And she's saying that they are completely lying, but as someone who also works in marketing and has purchased ads and things in this area, I thought they were pretty spot on, but I did some digging. So the first claim Olipop made is that a Super Bowl ad is $8 million for 30 seconds. Poppi had a 60-second ad, so that's $16 million.
Regardless of how much they actually spend, if a Super Bowl ad is $8 million for 30 seconds of advertisement, that is wild. Look, obviously I'm not American, right? So I don't get the full understanding of how big the Super Bowl is in America. But I mean, $8 million for 30 seconds of advertisement. Like, do you really get your money's worth for that as a brand? I've heard a lot of people saying like the Super Bowl ads is like a big part of it, right? But I mean, obviously, again, not American. The only thing I really have to compare it to from like my past experience, maybe watching like the World Cup or something, right? And the ads play at halftime. I don't think anyone really pays that much attention to the ads, but again, it could be very different with the Super Bowl, and I've heard a lot of people mention it, but still, $8 million for 30 seconds is mental. And then Andrea actually goes on to talk about the vending machine prices and how much this stuff usually costs.
And Olipop was also claiming that these vending machines cost $25,000. And after doing some digging, I found that these numbers were pretty consistent. The low end is going to be $10,000, and the high end is going to be $300,000, depending on the intricacy of the customization. And if you look at the vending machines, I mean, they customized everything down to even the little spirals being the matching pink, and they had to remove the payment systems. So $25,000 doesn't feel like the craziest guess for this price range.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, like Google will tell you like very wide ranges of prices from 10 grand to 300 grand. So who knows, right? They're saying that it was inflated by 60%. Again, we don't know. Another big video I saw talking about this situation was from a TikToker called Jaskaran, I believe it's pronounced. It actually says here, digital strategist. And they put some text on screen, so we'll have a read through, given kind of like their thoughts. Poppi saw the vending machine getting cancelled is the perfect example of creativity capitalism gone wrong. They aren't different from brands that pay millions to influencers and celebrities. The difference is that they had a bad strategy and were overconfident. They possibly saw the viral athletic greens vending machine at airports and thought the next step was to go big and hire viral influencers. Also, the first rule of marketing is to put yourself in the shoes of your customer. How did they think a middle-class consumer would react to a 25k vending machine in this economy? Outrageous. So look, it still seems like the vast majority of people aren't too impressed with this whole situation. There definitely is, as we spoke about in the last video, there definitely is a lot of people saying that they think the majority of people are overreacting, right? So there is people on the other side, but clearly the majority, especially over on TikTok, don't seem overly impressed. I mean, even on this video that I just read out, there is a mix of comments, right? There's comments like this one saying, well, I think it was genius. Everyone is talking about Poppi and Poppi lovers will still buy regardless of this. But then on the flip side, you get comments like this one saying a lot of marketing teams need to let go of this obsession with influencer marketing. So again, there is some mixed opinions out there. I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about. Has this response changed your mind? Has it strengthened the opinions you already had? Let me know any of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.